So you're probably thinking I'm talking about this trend that was going around where talented artists animated Five Nights at Freddy's into South Park. That is not the case. The topic of today's video is Movieunleashers The Final Night series, which is probably one of the most perplexing stories ever told. But first, thank you so much for the support on my last video. It truly means a lot. And yes, this is an parody. Anyways, let's get right into it. Dane Powroznik, who goes under the handle Movieunleashers, started his YouTube career on August 18th, 2008. And even from his earliest videos, he used the South Park style in conjunction with Pokemon, which later ended up becoming his starter series. But then one fateful day, Dane released the first episode of his Five Nights at Freddy's series back on September 9, 2014. Wow, thank you for making me feel old and confused about why a 10-year-old would be watching this. But anyways, we open up to Freddy's place. The animatronics talk about how much they don't like working at the pizzeria.
I hate working here. I think it's okay. I love it.
But then they get interrupted by Foxy screaming. Also, this is probably a better time than not, but can somebody explain why Freddy is slightly Scottish and why Foxy is literally just Tweak?
There it is! There it is! Oh, just calm down. We'll go check it out.
All of the other voices in the series make sense. It's just those two are off, which is even more confusing considering that they're the main characters later on. While the other animatronics investigate this, we're shown a security guard who looks like your average internet user. After Foxy has a mental breakdown, the animatronics check on the security guard. This causes the security guard to freak out, which makes him try to escape the pizzeria, getting caught by Foxy and killed accidentally. And I'll let the aftermath play out, because this is too bonkers to explain.
So, as the verdict stands, Foxy has committed a murder. The penalty will be life in prison.
If you think that's crazy, you have no idea what's in store. We pick up roughly where we left off in the first video, with the entire world essentially being racist towards animatronics. This then makes Freddy start a charity drive called Save the Animatronics, which without any explanation raises $1 million. It also shows the government passes rights to animatronics, which just reinforces my racism theory. Freddy then explains that they're going to have a comeback. This is the first instance of the cycle we see in the series. The cycle essentially being that Freddy is bound to entertain. It is also shown that Golden Freddy is watching the broadcast where all of this is being explained. Golden Freddy, not wanting the regular Freddy to continue the cycle, sends Toy Freddy, Chica, and Bonnie to kill the OG Freddy. Foxy then escapes prison to rejoin the band. Not wanting a convicted felon on their band, Freddy asks Foxy to be their security guard. So this is probably the worst time for Foxy to be the security guard, considering that there are two animatronics with M8A1s, and for whatever reason, Chica has a goddamn samurai sword. They get into the restaurant, Chica gets the jump on Foxy, killing him in the process. But not to fear, Freddy throws a cardboard box at Chica, killing them all. Somehow. After Freddy breaks the laws of physics, Golden Freddy reveals himself. Golden Freddy then brings up the cycle and how he wants to break it, though I'm pretty sure he's being hypocritical since he said,
They weren't supposed to do that. In fact, I was the one going to reopen Fazbear's Pizzeria.
Golden Freddy starts comparing himself to the OG Freddy.
Oh, I just think you're irritated because I got a job and you don't. Oh, you must agree with me because we are one of the same, Freddy. The hell are you talking about? Look at me, then back at you. We've got the same structure. We even got the same hat. Yeah, I'm you too. Oh, shut up!
He also mentions how cycles are like a computer program, which is funny considering that a lot of recent FNAF lore has to do with AI. And then Freddy flat out kills Golden Freddy, which gets him arrested.
Life in prison. Damn it!
The third video starts with Freddy in jail from the last episode. This makes Freddy start freaking out about getting recharged, which is also funny considering that this gets picked up in the official series with charging pods. Freddy then passes out for 30 years, bringing us to 2017, 30 years after 1987. He is then woken up by Springtrap, who salvaged the OG Freddy. Springtrap then tells Freddy about how the world ended, which is honestly hilarious. It is then revealed that Chica and Bonnie, after Freddy went to prison and Foxy died, rebuilt animatronics. They originally built them for kids, but as soon as adults found that they can be used to make their lives easier, the animatronics started selling by the millions. They also started working in other jobs, which is very funny.
Some are even lawyers. Listen here, prison for life is not gonna solve all your problems. Especially when most of the cases or accidents are self-defense.
You're gonna serve 20 years in prison for being an asshole.
Were some of these jobs good? Well, for some animatronics, yeah. They actually got full pay and a full family to boot.
You're part of our family, Bonnie.
Oh. And it kind of went too far.
Will you marry me?
People then start realizing just how many animatronics there really are, and they get sick and tired real quick. And then for some reason, Daryl from South Park makes a cameo to say his famous line.
They took a jam!
Then this one guy wearing a gray shirt talks about how much he's tired of the animatronics, and then he kills one. This starts even more strange circumstances. Just watch.
So, naturally, the other 99 animatronics turned on him that day.
You just crossed the line.
For the first time in my life, I feel alive! Humans are evil! They've been using us as slaves since the beginning! So, they started killing everyone. Since most of the animatronics look the exact same, the humans didn't know who to trust. So they eventually let them all go.
I'm sorry, Chica, but this is goodbye.
They felt abandoned, so they fought back as well.
It's gone too far now.
Yeah, let's shut it down.
Not so fast!
Oh crap.
We will not rest until all the humans are dead!
So you would think that they would be at the end of the line now that a nuclear bomb had just dropped, but they can't be any further away from the truth because they decide to make a time machine. And then they have an ad break for some reason, which I find really funny. It's a really stupid joke. I like it.
Now available on YouTube, the Fazbear's Comedy Hour.
Ah! 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 Ah!
Over 9 million episodes available. Check it out. But ask your parents' permission before going online.
And now back to the story.
They then travel back to 1987, before World War III. Freddy and Springtrap then travel to the robotics factory to stop World War III from happening. Freddy also pulls a machete out of Hammerspace again.
Bonnie, who's here?
Just a bunch of animatronics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they're breaking all our cameras.
What?
Foxy then starts yelling about how Springtrap is human. Springtrap denies this by saying it's hydraulic fluid, which I don't really think he needs to lie considering we've seen an animatronic get killed in bloody agony, but I guess it's different because XYZ. So after that pointless fight, Foxy tells them who's the real head of the Fazbear Army, and this character reveal is just as insane as the other things we've seen in this series.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
So after that, they eat Carl and drive into the sunset. But then suddenly...
Liked it. Them peeps over here are going nuts. I just wanted to tell you that we were thinking about a film adaptation we could make around your adventures. There's gotta be a movie about you guys.
A what? This doesn't end, does it?
Episode 4 was originally created as 2 parts, but then put together later, so for the sake of consistency, I'll go episode by episode starting with part 1. This episode starts with Plushtrap, who is a younger Springtrap in the series, finding Foxy in a dumpster. Note, we're still in 1987 after the bombs drop. OG Freddy and Springtrap stopped World War III, but couldn't stop the bombs. But we're not in 2017, when Freddy got rebooted by Springtrap, which I feel like is a paradox, but it's never really explained. So, let's continue. Freddy then has a heart-to-heart talk with Springtrap about how he wants to bring the band back together, Springtrap having a very respectable reaction.
Springtrap, we all have our little ambitions. My real love actually comes from music. You know, we had our little band back at the pizzeria. I always wanted to expand that to some extent. You know, we go on tour, we sell a couple records, we have a lot of fun doing what we love. You know, stuff like that. Springtrap, stop laughing, it's not that funny! Just stop laughing, I take it back!
Freddy, distracted by Springtrap's laughter, hits Plushtrap. They take him into the closest house, which I'm pretty sure that's not what you would do in that situation, but it turns out to be his house. Yay! They call out how much the time travel plot doesn't make sense in the series, which is pretty funny, but I feel like Springtrap shouldn't exist in this timeline since they stopped World War III. Springtrap also reveals that he fought in the war, which just kinda reinforces this point. Freddy then gets reunited with Foxy, and then Plushtrap makes a comment which adds even more confusion to the timeline.
Foxy? Is that really you?
Oh, Freddy! Where have you been?
Well, it's sort of a long story.
Well, we're finally together!
Foxy, I'm bringing the whole gang back together, like good old times. We'll get out of here and we'll start a new life, away from all this craziness.
Really? Oh, joy!
Are they going to kiss or something?
Oh my gosh, can't we just have one moment without the comments? We haven't seen each other in 20 years!
Note that Foxy died in the second episode, and Freddy got arrested, and we know that Freddy was asleep for 30 years, so something's not adding up, and I'm getting a headache just trying to figure it out. So let's continue. Plushtrap says the other members of the band are at the brand new animatronic club. They go there to see that Bonnie is now married to Chica and is not interested in joining the band back. After learning the bad news, Freddy runs into the bathroom talking about how he'll start an indie band. He then gets dragged into the mirror by his insecurities, which reveals itself to be Nightmare. Once Freddy gets dragged into the mirror, Foxy wakes up from his own nightmare and realizes how late it is. They then rush over to the animatronic club to find Springtrap slightly drunk. They go into the bathroom and it's revealed that the mirror has been turned into a TV screen. Foxy hears Freddy calling for help, and then for some reason this happens.
Oh, shoot! No, hold on! Foxy!
I did not realize I was watching a SpongeBob episode, but anyways. We're then shown a scene where Freddy is trying to entertain people as a one-man act, the audience getting angrier and more annoyed that the other 3 members aren't a part of the band anymore. Freddy then goes backstage with Foxy shortly following behind him. Nightmare then starts talking about the unpredictability of humans.
Use common sense, Freddy. Don't you understand the unpredictable nature of humans? Sometimes they like it, sometimes they don't. Oh, but they really liked you back at that pizzeria, didn't they? I don't know. I'm not sure if I really liked it back then. Those were the glory days, weren't they? Remember, you can always go back. You've built a time machine before. Why don't you use it again? You could undo everything. The backlash, the negative publicity, and just maybe, you might be able to undo that little fiasco with Foxy.
Nightmare then starts making some really good points about how Freddy could just go back in time and rewrite history, though if Freddy decides to do that and go back to the band, animatronics lose human rights. Nightmare then shows Freddy what the band could be, throwing a VHS filter to symbolize the nostalgic feel of the past. Foxy then breaks Freddy out of the vision, which reveals the entire audience has no faces.
What are you waiting for? Play!
Nightmare then explains that Freddy's screwed no matter what he does, and there's no future for him, Foxy disagreeing heavily.
I am showing Freddy the truth! Is there any harm doing that?
You're showing him that there's no hope for the future!
Well, yeah. No matter where he goes, he's screwed. I'm sorry, Foxy. He's right. He's basically my inner insecurities talking right now.
No! Freddy, there's still hope!
Do you really think that there's hope? There is none! Don't you see it, Foxy? We're gone! We're ruined!
It wasn't our fault.
Yes, I know, and that's what pisses me off.
Freddy, you don't have to recapture that lightning in a bottle. It doesn't really matter. You can't predict other people's reactions. And not everybody's gonna like you. There are people who still care for you.
Oh, those guys.
Oh, Freddy, you're really starting to get on my nerves. Reach down inside and do what you really want to do. For me. Okay?
Alright. I guess I'll just have to end it here then.
What?!
Freddy then decides to let Nightmare kill him, with Foxy panicking, but in an unseen take, Foxy runs in and kills Nightmare, throwing both of them back into the bathroom. They then talk about the band and the future when suddenly Chica runs in saying that she'll join the band, with Bonnie joining out of annoyance. They then start singing We Go Together from Grease.
What are you guys doing? Is that a song starting up? Oh my gosh, no! Don't you dare! I take it back! Don't do this! No! They all died.
Yep, that's how it ends. They all die in an explosion and there's no other parts. Honestly, there's not much more I could say about this series, but I highly recommend you go watch it. It's absolutely hilarious, and I focused more on the story rather than the jokes in this review. Anyways, this has been Jordan, broadcasting.